Hello friends, welcome back to my virtual classroom. So today I'll be teaching you about polynomials. This is usually grade 9, 10 unit, and here I have written a quick polynomials. Definition of what polynomials are. Polynomials are basically algebraic equations that are formed when you bring the numbers, variables, consonants. Sorry, not consonant. Constants, number, variables, exponents, and algebraic expressions together in one kind of equation. Okay, so I'm going to give you some example. So here I have written 3x squared. So you see you have a number, you have a variable, you got an exponent over here. So this is called algebraic terms. Okay, polynomials means when multiple algebraic terms come together. So we have names even for those polynomials. Okay, so if this is only one term, this is called a term. And how do you separate a term? With the help of addition and subtraction. So for example, if I'm going to use the same 3x squared, if I add minus 4x squared. So here, do you see I got a subtraction sign, and let's do plus 2x squared. And let's do 2x squared. So here, you see how I'm separating the terms with the help of addition and subtraction. You can do multiplication. It could be separated through multiplication. So here, these are called the terms. Okay, in expression, these are called algebraic terms. Okay, any equation, in an equation or in an expression, if you have only one term, this term is called, so they have differentiated the polynomials into mononomial. Mono means one. So if you have only one term, for example, 3x squared is just one term. So this is called mononomial. Okay, similarly, there is next is called binomial. Binomial means you can have two terms. So you can have any two terms, square plus 3y, whatever variable is, doesn't matter if it has a different variable, any expression, algebraic expression. If you have two terms, so term 1, term 2, here is only one term. If you have two terms, it's called binomial. Similarly, if there are three terms, for example, that's called trinomial with three terms. So you can have 4x squared plus 3xy minus 4y, whatever. I'm just randomly writing down the expression. So here you have three terms. It's called trinomial. And if it has more than three terms, it is considered as polynomial. Okay, so more than three, it could have 4 terms, 5 terms, doesn't matter. So 4x squared plus 3xy minus 4y plus 2y, whatever. If it has 4 or more than 4 terms, it's considered as polynomial. Okay, so that's why the unit is given the name polynomial because you're going to be solving more polynomials. Okay, now next thing is we need to learn about how to find the degree of the polynomial. So I'm going to be taking a question from our grade 9 math focused textbook. So let me quickly erase this. So here, the question is over here. I'm going to show it to you. So I'm solving on page 299. I'm going to be solving question 1 for each, for each polynomial, identify its degree, the variable, the coefficient of x squared, and the constant term. Page 299. Okay, so today we will be learning about the degrees, how to find the degrees of the term. So here first, let me clarify what do you mean by the degree of the term? Degree of the term, degree of the term, or degree of the polynomial. So degree of the term means the degree of the term is equivalent to the sum of the exponents found on the variable. The sum of the exponent found on the variable. For example, if you have a degree, for example, you have, let's take the degree from here, 7ab. So this is one term, right? And each variable has exponent 1 and 1. Okay, so degree of the term means the sum of the exponent. So the sum of the exponent means you add 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1. So the degree of this term is equals 2. Okay, 2 is a degree of this term. Okay, so the sum of the exponent, any exponent, for example, if this exponent, this term has square, and let's do that, 5. So 7a exponent 2 and b exponent 5. So the degree of this term is equals to 7 because 2 plus 7. 2 plus 5. Okay, so this is the degree of this term. But in order to find the degree of a polynomial means you have to individually find the degree of each term. Okay, you have to find the degree of each term and you pick the biggest degree. That is the degree of the polynomial. So I'll do some examples to make you understand more clearly. So, for example, let's take an expression. So I'm going to take the question from the textbook, from page 299. So our first question is negative 6x squared minus 2xy plus 5. So first, how many terms do we have? We have 3 terms. One term is this, one term is this, and this is the third term. Now we have to find the degree of each term individually. So the degree of this term is, since it has only x, one variable with the power 2, exponent 2. So the term of this, the degree of this term is 2. The degree of this term is also, because it has only 1 and 1. So we always add the exponent of variables. So the degree of this term is also 2, but this one doesn't have a variable. So there is no term for this. So the maximum, the biggest term of this polynomial is 2. So 2 is the degree of this term. So the degree of this term, the polynomial, the degree of this polynomial is 2. Okay, now the variables. What are the variables? So for each polynomial, identify its degree. So we found the degree is 2. Now, what are the variables? So the variables we can see, we have x. X is repeating, so we just keep 1x. So the variables of this polynomials are x and y. Okay, now coefficient. Coefficient is any number attached to a variable. Okay, coefficient means any number that's attached to a variable is called coefficient. So here 2 is also coefficient because it attached to the x and y, and 6 is also a coefficient because it's attached to x. But they ask what is the coefficient of only x squared. X squared, so that is the coefficient of x squared is negative 6. Okay, so coefficient of x squared is equals to negative 6. You can see this is the coefficient of x squared. And the constant term. Constant term is any number that stands alone itself. It is not attached to any variable. So 5 is a constant term over here because it doesn't have any variable. So constant term is any number in polynomial or algebraic expression that stands all by itself. Okay, so this is your constant term. Now let's do question 2. So question 2 of this on page 299 is, let's see, it's 4x squared minus 3. So in this question we only have 2 terms. One term is this and the other term is this. So we got only 2 terms in the algebraic terms in this polynomial. This is not a poly because it has only 2 terms. So we name it as binomial, but let's consider it as polynomial for now. And the degree, because this degree, it has only 2 exponents. So the degree is 2. This one doesn't have any degree because it has no variable. So degree you find out by looking at the number of variables. Okay, so there are 2 exponent for the x, and here no. So the degree of this question is also 2. Okay, so I'm going to erase this for my new question, next question. So now this is for this one. So the degree is 2. Now x squared, the what is the variables? Variables in this polynomial is just x is a variable. Coefficient of x squared. So this is x squared. The coefficient is 4. And the constant over here, so it's 3. That's the constant. Not only 3, negative 3 is the constant. Okay, so don't forget then, teacher, the -3 is the constant in this question. Okay, now I'm going to write down I'm going to do the last question. So the last question is C. That is -3y, -3y, -4. Again, this question has only two terms. That's -3y and -4. So again, only two terms. And the degree will be, let's erase this. Oh, so the degree of this, because we have only one variable which has exponent 1. So the degree of this expression, this polynomial, is just 1. Variables. So what are the variables? We can only see y as a variable over here. So y is a variable. Coefficient of x squared. Do you see any x squared over here? No, 0. Nothing is here. So we don't even have x squared. So the coefficient of x squared is 0. We don't have x squared over there. And negative, okay, constant. -4 is our constant over here. So simple. This is how you find the degree of polynomial. Check the biggest degree for the variables, the exponent of the variables. Okay, so hopefully you find this video useful. Again, if you guys have any question, just feel free to let me know. And you can just, as I told you before, leave your question in the text box. And yeah, that's pretty easy. I can do one more example if you guys want to find the degree. So I'm just gonna make my own question to make you guys understand. Okay, so let's do that. 3x squared y cubed plus 2x 1, just x y plus 3y 5. Okay, let's do this example. So yes. So here the degree, let's find the degree of individual term. So I gave you guys 3 terms. So the degree of this term is, you need to add the exponent of the variable. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So the degree of this term is 5. The degree of this term is just 1, so 2. And the degree of this term is also 5. Now, what do you notice? So the biggest degree, sorry, the greatest degree is 5. So the degree of this expression is 5. And what are the variables I use? So x, y, x, y, x, y. So the variables are x and y. Coefficient of x squared, the coefficient is 3. And the constant, do we have any constant? Is there any number that stands all by itself? No, so 0 constant. Simple. Okay, pretty easy. So that's it. That's how you find the degree of the polynomial. Imagine if this would be, for example, 8. And now this degree would be 8. So you always pick the biggest degree. Okay, then for this same question, the degree would be 8, not 5. Okay, because we always pick the degree of the, we pick the degree of the term, the biggest degree of the term. Okay, so this term has the biggest degree 8. Now the degree of the whole polynomial would be 8, not 2 or 5. Okay, just 8. That's it. So variable stays same, x, y, coefficient 3, and constant again 0. Okay, so yeah, thank you.